I'm going to demonstrate the mime exercise, and the actual name is very long. I call it the all-inclusive mime exercise, the only mime exercise you'll ever need for the rest of your life. That's the actual name of the exercise, but we can call it the all-inclusive mime exercise for short, and even shorter, we'll just call it the mime exercise. And the idea of this, it's part of the 4 articulations, and what we're doing is the 7 solos. So this is part of the 7 solos, and in the template we would have already done 3 walking exercise, and this exercise is on the spot. Okay, so once you plant your feet, you don't move them during the exercise, and even if you have an idea of running or flying, you don't lift your feet up. Okay, so that's just the thing. And again, what it is, it's about learning to be creative on the spot first. Okay, so and all of my work is relating the upper part of the body with the lower part of the body, like a yin yang. And it's the same principle you have in Iyengar yoga, is the upper and lower part of the body. They work sometimes in opposition, but they still work in harmony. Okay, so you'll see. And one more thing to explain before I demonstrate is part of the exercise is also about the relation of the fingers and the whole body. Okay, so when I talk about the fingers, it's actually le doigt, the digits, and this is the hand, and this is the arm. So sometimes we're going to use our arm, sometimes the hand, but it's really about the fingers and the whole body. Okay, so let me demonstrate. I know that's a lot of information to start with, but you'll see it's actually very simple. Watch first, don't do it, and I'll demonstrate, and it'll be really easy for you to then do it. Okay, and you'll have a chance to do it a number of times, so don't worry, don't get anxious. So I don't know if you can see my feet, but I'm not standing with my legs narrow, but I stand with my feet wide, and my feet are turned out a little bit, and I have my arms up. Now they can be there, or there, or there, or there, or there, or there, but they're extended and the fingers are open. So it's not this, okay? What I do is I move my fingers and my whole body, and I pause. Then I have my arms in another position, fingers and whole body, pause. One more time, arms can be anywhere, fingers and whole body, and pause. On the 3rd time, what I then do is I look at my body or my hands and I go, well, what is it? Well, it's nothing. So the question is, what can I do with this? So if I go here and go, oh, darling, you are so beautiful to me. Can't you see? Oh, okay, so we know what that is, right? Then I come back to the same position and I go, what else could it be? It's a tight rope walking frog. Okay, and I come back to the same position. I go, what else could it be? Oh, I know, yes, I know, of course what it is. So you can see this could become all kinds of things, all right? So the important thing is the beginning, the arms can be anywhere, but they're straight, the fingers are open, and you move your whole body at once. So I just want to see you do that first. We're not going to do the whole exercise, okay? So you open your feet wide. Okay, and you hold a position with your arms up, or in any, not just here, it can be anywhere, but your arms are straight. Elbow is straight. Just hold that position. Don't move around. Just hold that position. Your fingers are open. Your fingers are actually stretching. Fingers stretch. So it's not this. It's this. It's really there. Okay? Now, in one movement, without moving your feet, you're going to move your whole body. That includes your knees and your hips and your arms and your fingers. And then you're going to pause. Okay? So I want to see you take one movement, moving your fingers and your arms, and pause. Perfect. Okay? Now, let's go back to another neutral position with your arms open. Any position. Now, remember, on this exercise, you do not move your feet through the whole exercise. Okay? And your fingers are open. Elbows are straight, Emmanuel. Elbows, oui, merci. And now you're going to move one movement, the whole body, including the fingers. And pause there. Okay? And once again, this is the third time. Your arms are open anywhere, different position. Head is neutral. Head is neutral. Right? So you're not acting, it's just a physical shape. And your feet stay where they are through the whole exercise. Very important. The feet stay exactly where they are. Even when you start creating, even if you're flying in your imagination, even if you're running. Okay. Elbows straight. Emmanuel? Elbow. Okay. Comment c'est dit en français? Oui, oui, droite. Right? Oui, tout le doigt, tout le doigt. Oui. Okay, so now with the fingers and the body, the whole body moving, but the feet stay where they are. You don't even lift your heels. Okay, one movement, one movement. Okay, let's do that again. Another one, arms up in neutral. Now, what's important, Craig, is nobody can do this fast, because if you do it fast, even if I do it fast, I don't know what my fingers are doing. So it's actually a slow movement. It's a slow movement, control. Okay? So it's not one action. Okay, it's one movement. Okay, arms up. This is the third one. We're going to skip the last one. And moving the fingers. Let's do that again. Now make sure you don't just move your arms. You have to move your fingers. It's about the fingers, this exercise. So the first thing you should initiate, if you're having a problem with that, use your fingers in the beginning of the movement. Let's try that again. This is still the third one. Okay, arms up. Okay. Now when I say move, think of your fingers first. So you're moving your whole body and moving your fingers and your whole body. Tout le corps, Emmanuel. And hold, pause there. Now, we look at our hands or our arms and we go, what is it? Well, it's nothing. It's just a physical movement. So the real question is, what can it be? Okay? So you improvise now with whatever your hands show you or whatever the feeling is. You improvise now for about 20 seconds. You don't move your feet. You do not move your feet. You do not step. You don't move your feet. Keep improvising. Keep going with that. Whatever you're feeling, one thing, the one thing that you started with, keep going with that idea or that feeling. Okay, now come back to the original shape. The original shape there. The original shape where you paused before. Okay? Now we look at our hands again and our arms and we go, what is it? It's nothing. What can it become? And this is your second improvisation. Okay? Off you go. Don't move your feet. Keep going. Another 20 seconds with this idea or this feeling, this improvisation. and hold, hold, and come back to the original shape. The original shape. And look at it. What is it? It's nothing. It's just a physical shape. The question is, what can it be? And you go with that. Okay, off you go. Improvising the third time, new idea. Don't move your feet. No matter what, don't move your feet. Another 10 seconds. Keep going. And hold. And relax. Okay, bien. Looks very good. I want to tell you guys a secret, which is when I first, after we do this 1, 2, 3, and we pause, and we're going to improvise on that 3 times. The first one I do is almost always cliche. So I don't worry about it ever being a good idea. So in my work, you don't have to have a good idea. It's not necessary. And especially the first time, you just do whatever it is and play with it. It doesn't matter. The second time, it starts to become interesting because we already did the cliche. So maybe we do another cliche. But when we get to the third time, and if we're going to do a cliche again, that's where we start to learn and grow. It doesn't have to be perfect, but that's where the real challenge is often on that third one. But I would say, give yourself 100% permission on the first, the second, even the third to do cliche. It's not so don't worry about it being good or not. This is not important. Technically, what I do is I clarify things though. So it's really important to do this exercise slowly because it's about the awareness of the fingers with the whole body. The other thing is very important in the beginning of the exercise, learning it. Don't move your feet through the whole exercise. Okay, so I'm technically insistent. The other thing is the elbow should be straight to begin with. Okay, now we're going to do it again. I want to show you something though. When we do the first one, it's very important for each of you to pause. 3, 4, 5 seconds, 6 seconds, all right? When we do the second one, pause here. And then start the movement and pause here. When you do the third one, wherever your arms are, pause, moving slowly, and pause at the end. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 seconds, 8 seconds, all right? Now, I have to ask myself, what can it be, right? All right, I'm having trouble with this one, but I've got an idea. I'm going to go with it. And you don't know what I'm doing. You don't need to know, but I'm sawing, you know, sawing wood, but I'm sawing something very delicate. Okay, so I had no idea what I'm doing, and even when I'm sawing, it doesn't make sense, but I realize it's something delicate. Okay, so what happens is if I get stuck, I add a detail in my mind or physically, and I add a second detail, and it'll be okay, always. All right, so now I come back to the same position. Now that time it was using both of these. I come back to that position, I can go, I've lost my mobile phone. Now, how do you get that from here? I make an action. You see what I mean? So I'm not stuck with this position. So I'm showing you 2 opposite interpretations. All right. The other thing is I'm here. This is the third time. It's a feeling. So one time it's the obvious cliche, what's in my hands. The second time it's with an action. The third time, it's with a feeling. So these three ideas those are our basics. I'm not saying you have to do those. I just want you to understand it's a logical, basic way of interpreting from a shape. Okay? You might do this, you might do a feeling all 3 times. That's okay. You might do the shape all 3 times. That's okay. You might do an action all 3 times. That's okay. All right? I just want you to understand that when I do it, I challenge myself to do what the real shape is, just as a cliche. The second time, I often do it as an action or a feeling. And the third time, I do an action or a feeling. You don't have to do that. I'm just explaining to you. Okay, let's try the exercise again.